Oh man, okay, well this is long overdue. So like I said, after I did my I just watched Alien franchise, I said I was gonna do I just watched the Predator AVP franchises, and then I went and I watched Predator, and then I kind of didn't make the video, so I'm really sorry. Um, I kept forgetting that I didn't make this video. Like, I was just like, yeah, I did. Wait, no, shit, I haven't done that, and then I just didn't fucking make time for it like an idiot. So, the Predator franchise. I watched it, or I should say rewatched it. Yeah, by the way, this fucking title is a complete lie. I didn't just watch Predator. One, I watched it several weeks ago, and that wasn't even my first viewing. I was rewatching it. So this is really, I just rewatched I don't know what I'm probably going to call this. I just rewatched the Predator franchise, which is still a lie. But whatever. Hey, you know what? You call it clickbait. That's what it is. I'm a clickbaiting whore. But we got the Predator franchise. Now, unlike Alien, I actually did grow up a Predator, and I have a deep, fond love of the Predator movies. I think they're really cool and badass, or at least 13-year-old me did when I saw them on television. I would see these on TV all the time, the first two at least. And I thought they were the coolest thing, because I was 13, and big, muscly aliens stabbing dudes, I thought was the coolest shit ever. Because I was an edgy 90s teen, and Predators I saw in theaters, and I thought that was rad too, and I was like, Robert Rodriguez doing a Predator movie, hell yes, please sign me the fuck up. And I haven't seen that though since it was in theaters, so I'm getting to re-experience all three of these films with a very fresh perspective. And Predator 1 and 2, like I said, haven't seen since I was a child, and Predator 1 fucking rules. Holy shit. And of course that should be like no surprise. Like, you know, Predator is considered like one of the best action movie things of all time. People love it. It's unanimously praised. By the way, I'm recording this right after the Power Ranger video, which is why I'm still drinking this. This is considered as like one long video that's spread across 2 days. If I actually put these up back to back. But the Predator, the original Predator, fucking rad. Great movie. Great action. It's such, like, it is 80s macho action flick just distilled to perfection. And you toss an alien in there. It's fucking awesome. The most awesome part of this movie, though, which is something I never see brought up, because people usually bring up, like Arnie in this film, like how cool and macho he is, and like his one-liners, like "stick around," which is really like the only one-liner that's really said in this film. But or at least the only one that's said, the only really cheesy one, where Arnie sticks a guy to a wall with a fucking Bowie knife, and he goes "stick around," and that's great. But and the film doesn't really have any cheesy moments like that beyond that one scene that everyone likes to reference. But the thing that I never see really brought up too often is Jesse Ventura in this movie is fucking awesome. Like Jesse the Body Ventura, or the Brain Ventura, is like he's a cool dude regardless. I mean, his mic skills are rock fucking solid. And here he's just fucking awesome. He has like all the best lines. Like he's on a helicopter, you know, going off on their mission, and he's like, you know, sitting there popping chewing tobacco in his mouth, and he, like, you know, starts offering it to everyone there, and they all turn him down, and he just looks at him. Everyone in this chopper's a slack-jawed faggot. This right here turn you into a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. A sexual tyrannosaurus. Man, that is the greatest fucking line in cinematic history, and I swear I will work that into a sentence somewhere. Like, I'm gonna find, like, I'm gonna like recommend an anime to someone. I'll be like, man, it's like, you need to see fucking Black Lagoon. It's like, why should I? It's like, because it'll turn you into a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Oh god, he fucking sells that line. It's so great. And of course he also has that other line that people reference, which is, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed. It's so awesome. It's so cool. It is the coolest thing. I love it. Oh my god. So, this movie, fucking rad. Loved every bit of it. I I love, like, you know, like Arnie kind of by accident, because it's something I forgot, like Arnie kind of figures out by accident, you know, because he like tumbles and falls, and like the Predator's coming down to kill him, but the Predator can't see him because he's covered in mud, and like that was a really cool moment, when he just kind of like, oh, it's thermal, he can't. All right, I'm gonna fuck this guy up, and like, yeah, he actually like tries to like set up traps and stuff, and like he starts hunting the hunter. It's a great fucking flick. It's so fucking badass. The thing that I find the most interesting about this movie is the plot of the film, because this movie has like a full-on story besides, oh man, like this Predator thing is going around killing all of us and we need to kill it. Because the plot of the film is they're going on a mission to like South America. They like shoot up a village, and they have like this one member of like this like South American rebellion that they're going to like take back and like interrogate for information, which I'm pretty sure it's legal to like take, like they're like slaughtering an entire village to take one of them and be like, we're gonna interrogate you. But anyhow, they're gonna take her, and then there's this whole thing about how Carl Weathers' character, like the Schwarzenegger's character, and they have like a bit of a falling out during the movie, and like there's a whole plot there. Like that itself could be its own movie. You could have your own goddamn war movie that is just them like shooting up that village and then them trying to transport this captive from point A to point B, and that could be the entire movie. But then you just drop a fucking alien in the middle of this shit, a Predator specifically, and it just completely upends the entire fucking story that's been going on. And that is such a weird, interesting concept that I never really picked up on as a kid. That this movie has a full plot. The Predator coming down and murdering the shit out of people is not the plot of this film. This film had its own fully fleshed out plot, and then they just dropped the fucking Predator in the middle, and it's like the coolest shit ever. Then you get to Predator 2. And Predator 2, I've heard a lot of mixed things about. A lot of people kind of shit on this one because it's not like as good as the original. It kind of sucks, blah, blah, blah. It's really cheesy. And it's cheesy. This movie, Predator 1, like, was so goddamn 80s. And Predator 2 is so goddamn 90s. In fact, when the hell did Predator 2 come out? Wow, yeah, 1990, like right on the cusp of the 90s, and yet it feels so goddamn 90s. Everything sucks. It's set, like, because one thing that we like to do, because you can tell that, like, I'm losing my train of thought here. Hold on. Predator 2, you know, it's grimier, it's grittier, it's shittier. Like, it's this urban environment. Like it's set in the somewhat distant, like the not too distant future where crime is taken over, because we had this really pessimistic view on the rise of the crime rate and how things were just going to get really bad in the future. And so this movie is actually set. It's made in 1990. It's set in 1997, and apparently we thought in 7 years things were going to go to fucking shit. Because, like, it's, like, fucking war spilling out into the street, like, gangs shooting each other up. It's so fucking cartoony and so goddamn awesome. You have a fucking voodoo gang. You have a voodoo gang. They're, like, these weird-ass, like, fucking spiritual voodoo guys who are also drug runners. It's so fucking... This is a product that can only happen in the 90s, which is why I will hold my ground firmly that the 90s was the greatest fucking era in filmmaking, because you can make any goddamn movie you want, and we made some balls to the wall weird shit that we marketed as mainstream films. I fucking love the 90s. 90s had just such ridiculously awesome goddamn fucking concepts. But the concept here is you have Danny Glover, who's a detective, and he's trying to fight against this gang war and all this bullshit, and then Predators show up and start killing people, and he has to fight the Predator in the third act. Now, the thing, God, this shows such a shift in dynamics in so many ways. Like I said, it's already grittier and grimier, and it's urban, and it's set in the near future. You can tell, like, and then you have the casting choice. the casting here is Danny Glover. It's like, well, Danny Glover is like a really weird choice to follow up Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not Dolph Lundgren, not Sylvester Stallone, not Jean-Claude Van Damme. Danny Glover is the main character of this film. He's such a huge departure. And I had to think about it. I'm like, what the hell happened between these two films that could cause such a change? And it dawned on me. I'm like, wait, 1987, 1999. Die Hard happened between these two movies. And Die Hard, was, John McClane. He's not like, big buff guy, but he's kind of muscular, but, he's more of like the dad bod superhero, the relatable everyman. And that really caused a shift. And you can see that shift in this movie. Another thing you can really see a shift from is RoboCop. RoboCop, because like it's really like, RoboCop and fucking Die Hard happened, and then Predator 2 came along, and they were like, well, we're gonna take this dystopian future crime war shit, and we're also going to take the everyman dad bod superhero, and and they made Predator 2. And it's really cool to just see cinematic influence like that. To see, like, oh, well, like this movie happened, and this movie was really indicative of its time, and then this movie happened, and it's really indicative of its time. And in between these 2 points, you get to, like, look at the films, like, that shaped the second one, from the first one to the second one, and caused all the changes that happened. And yeah, it's fucking rad. Like, I think it's still a great fucking movie. And much like the first film, it has its own plot. Like, it's Danny Glover dealing with this war-torn fucking city, and like crime spilling out onto the streets, and people shooting each other up like in broad daylight, and the police are trying to fight back against armored piercing bullets and shit. And it has its own story. And like I said, you have like the fucking voodoo gang and all this inter-gang war shit going on. But then you just drop a Predator in there, and it completely changes the dynamic of the film. That, everything I just mentioned, Danny Glover trying to fight a war on crime against these warring crime syndicates, and they're all elaborate, weird characters, that could be its own fucking movie. But then you just drop a Predator in there, and the Predator shakes the dynamic up completely. It takes what was one kind of film and completely shifts gears into being a completely different genre of film. And that is something that's so fucking cool about the two Predator movies. So yeah, Predator 1, fucking rad. Predator 2, fucking rad. 13-year-old me was right. Also, these are my first time ever seeing these movies uncensored, because I always watched them on television. So it was kind of like whenever I watched Voltron as a kid, and I go back and I watch Go Line as an adult. Well, that's kind of like this. It was like I watched fucking censored Predator as like a teenager, and here I am, a grown-ass man, going, dude, fucking Predator is so awesome, brah. So fucking violent, their titties and blood and shit. Yeah! But yeah, it's awesome. So, that's the first two Predators. And then there's Predators, the Robert Rodriguez film. I love Robert Rodriguez. Man, this movie came out of fucking nowhere, because Robert Rodriguez, it felt like Robert Rodriguez announced, like, I'm doing a Predator movie. And then like a week later, oh look, here's a trailer for a Predator movie. Like, this man just fucking just cranked this shit out of nowhere, because it's so weird to hear an announcement for a film, and then it felt like months later before, it was probably like a year, but even that, to like hear an announcement for a film and then get a trailer like a year later, it's like, whoa, what the fuck, where'd that even come from? So, Robert Rodriguez drops Predators, love Rodriguez, and I thought this movie was really great when I saw it in theaters. I thought Predators was rad as shit. I thought it totally lived up to how I remembered the original Predator films, and it's really rad. I was right about that. I don't think it actually holds up to the original Predator films, unfortunately. Not saying it's not bad. And in fact, if it's below the first two Predator films, it's below it by like a point, maybe, if even. The two big things about this film is that, it doesn't have a secondary plot line going through, which I think is really cool about the first two Predator films. Like I said, the first two Predator films could be their own movies without ever introducing the Predator. The movie is circled around the Predators. Like it's a Predator hunting ground where they just kidnap a bunch of specialized humans and hunt them, or just aliens in general, because we find that there are random aliens on this planet too. And I had really fond memories of this movie, and like I said, it's really good. But like I said, it doesn't have that secondary plot line, which makes it a little less interesting. So the entire movie has to hinge on these characters and the situation that they're in, and us giving a shit about them. And they're more like stock archetypes than they are characters. And probably like my biggest criticism of any of the characters is Adrian Brody's character, and not because he's played by Adrian Brody. I've heard a lot of people complain that Adrian Brody, because the two big complaints I hear about this movie is, Adrian Brody isn't like a convincing, like, badass, macho, like, you know, murdering action star, and oh man, they killed Danny Trejo way too early. I totally agree with the second one, but I can buy Adrian Brody as, like, because he looks fucking buff as shit. You know, he looks like grizzled. You know, they did a good job, I think, portraying him in this film, his character, and I think he did a good job with it. I've never seen another Adrian Brody film before. I've missed all of his classic award-winning films where he's like some sort of frou-frou pansy, so I don't have that context to really compare him to. And that's probably for the best, because I think it's totally convincing. My problem with Adrian Brody's character is he is a total goddamn Mary Sue. And what I mean by this is that he's flawless. And when I say he's flawless, I mean this guy doesn't fuck up at all. Everything he does is perfect as you could possibly... Like everyone else fucks up. Everyone else makes like the wrong choice. He always makes the right choice. He's always like, no, that's a trap, and that's a... And, like, yeah, it's good that you have, like, a savvy character like that, but the mere fact that he makes the exact right decisions at every single turn makes him feel like too much of a Superman. Like, one thing that makes the protagonists in the other Predator films interesting is that they're, like, even though they're, like, stock archetypes of their genres, like, even though, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is this big, macho, awesome dude, he's still a fuck up. Like, you know, he still doesn't have any clue what the hell he's up against, and he doesn't really know how to deal with it at first. And he figures out how to deal with it by accident. Danny Glover's character, he's, he's an everyman type of guy. He makes plenty of fucking mistakes. He barely survives by the skin of his teeth, and that's fine. Like, you know, like he's an interesting, compelling character. But Adrian Brody's character, he's too perfect. He's so flawless. And that is something that really drags this film down. And yeah, that's kind of just my takeaway from this. It's a rad fucking movie, and really it's brought down by the fact that it doesn't have a secondary plot line going through it. There's a few plot twists here and there, like with like Topher Grace's character and stuff. That was cool. But yeah, it just... Like I said, it's badass. I enjoyed watching it. But Adrian Brody's character and his utter perfection pulled the movie down for me. And the mere fact that it doesn't have that interesting secondary plot line, because, you know, the way the script is written, it just couldn't have that, also makes it less interesting. So yeah, Predators, I get the criticism. I still think it's a great movie, and I totally think it deserves to sit alongside the first two Predator movies. Even though people will say Predator 1's the only great film, I think they're all three great films. In fact, to an extent, I might even enjoy Predator 2 a bit more just because it's so ridiculous and over the top. It just that it has an extra layer of campiness to it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Predator films. I loved all three of them, and we're getting another one. I think it's next year. We're getting The Predator. I think that's a Shane Black film. And I've never seen a good Shane Black film. I've only seen Iron Man 3. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a good Shane Black film. So let's hope that this one is good and he makes a great movie. Hopefully, you know, because from what I've seen, like, the guy seems he seems to enjoy having fun with his writing, so hopefully it's a bit more fun like Predator 2 is. Maybe we can get kind of like a revival of that. That'd be really rad. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm going to go watch AVP next. Woo! And we'll see how that goes. Till next time, Xeon, out.